with Deku's Joy Creation Part 2. But guys, VJK, I want, comment section if you think I should do read-through on this series. But anyway, I'll get on to this video. So Deku, and as Deku took Juno away to his void area. And where part I did leave off, but that's when Deku said, "Oh my, Bakugo, you're so, Kacchan, you're so silly." I also forgot to say withdraw, Foxy, so this is the video where I say that. Foxy, withdraw. She did say she would come along, Class 1A. So, I will leave you alone. For now. Foxy touches the wall. He completely vanishes. Yeah, if I just do this with my mic and I'm really loud, I'll stop. Sorry guys, I just wanted to do that. I love that. And as the walls began to turn back to normal, Class 1A is like in their normal area, normal realm. And that's when All Might appears like, "Don't worry, I am here. Smash!" All Might punches Deku, hits him into a wall. Deku's breaking, knocking Deku's jaw out of place. It's like his robotic jaw, its human appearance vanished. And then Deku's began sprouting teeth out of his jaw. He's like, "You should have done that, All Might." Deku in he's so fast. He's just teleporting. All Might thought he's so fast. He teleports to in front of All Might. Deku punches All Might right in the chest, knocking him away, breaking some of his ribs. Buck was like, "You bastard!" Since no, you want to know why Deku can no, it's funny. I said only Deku's creations could use quirks, but not him could counter the quirks, did I? Ah? Ah? But I didn't have said he could. Bakugo goes in with his quirk. Bakugo explodes Deku. Deku's like Deku's arm. Or he doesn't know he's Deku. He explodes Creation's arm. Bakugo's like, "Ha! Take that, villain!" And a robotic hand grabs Bakugo's throat. And Deku still has the mask on. But Deku's jaw. Deku grabs his hand that's mostly human, puts his jaw back in place, and it repairs itself. And Creation's like, "You're pretty weak." Deku throws Bakugo to the Class 1A, and Deku says, "You two guys are pathetic. You really think you can beat me?" Aizawa is like, "Students! My class! I must defend them!" Then Deku notices Aizawa, and Deku says, "Huh. You'd be happy to know, Aizawa, I've taken one of your classmates. See ya." Deku, disappears in front of Aizawa. Class 1A is stunned by this. They're saying, what the hell happened? Guys, if you're wondering in my videos, I'm the voice I'm doing is very, very, very energetic in the real world, So I'm sorry if I'm not making this fun, but anyway. Deku comes back, as Springtrap says, and Juno and Momai's Rozu are like, "Where the hell are we?" No, Juno's like, "Where the hell am I?" And what have they done to Momo? Deku says, "Oh, you haven't noticed." Juno's startled by this, "What did you do to her?" And Deku says, "Oh, nothing. You know when you left her? You know when I took her 32 days ago? Juno's like, yeah? Well, 32 days can actually translate into 2 years, actually. Juno's like, what? Dick's like, yes, I left her in a void for 2 years, alone. So she's pretty traumatized. And I told her if she ever, tries to disobey me, she'd be sent back there with no one to talk to. She says, no, 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 no. I'm always saying, no, no, please don't send me back there. Please don't send me back there. Dick's like, I won't. Besides, I think that should be enough punishment for you. I was like, okay, okay. Juno's like, we're your doofus, villain. Dick's like, maybe just a bit of fun. I don't really know. But you should really know who your classmates are. So I'm just really checking. No. Okay. Anyway, you should really check who your classmates are. And Juno's like, what do you mean? Deku's smiling like, you don't know, do you? Bako didn't tell you, did he? What do you mean, Bako? What did he tell us? Oh, he just made an innocent kid jump off a roof. And as the result, my creations awakened, but I was dormant for quite a while. But 4 days in the real world is 4 years. So, yeah. If you're wondering how am I so good at this combat thing, it's because I had to fight my own creations for practice. And even had to fight my strongest one. Creation. Joe's like, I thought your name was Creation. And the mysterious person says, no, no, no. My real name is Izuku Midoriya. But my name is Deku. For the short. Joe's like, okay. We'll do as you say. As long as I don't get to see her suffer like this. Deku's like, yes. I just want to bring her here so that her mind could probably be repaired. Mo's like, repaired for what? I don't know yet. I just feel that she should get some help. I'm not. And Gino's like, so you're just a really good guy, actually? Deku says, don't just assume shit like that. I'm evil. I killed Bakugo's mom without a sweat. And you know those little murder families? Yeah, I killed. I told one of my creations to kill those families. And he enjoyed it. So did I. Anyway. Aren't you gonna tell Momo what happened to Ida? I was like, what happened to Ida, Juno? Juno's like, damn you bastard. Juno's like, well, he paralyzed Ida, and he couldn't be here anymore since his back is ripped to shreds, and I think he might not be able to be here anymore. But lucky for Ida, Foxy did hit a vital point in his bones, but he was very lucky, because if that hook went any deeper to his spine, it would have made sure he was paralyzed forever. But he'd have to have doctors have to put limitations on his back, so he can only walk for a certain time until his back fully healed in 2 years, because he has to use a cane to walk around. Anyway, Nezu and okay, Nezu, okay. As and on to Nezu and Midnight and all the teachers have class of onto the teachers in UA. Ned's like saying, this individual snuck past our defenses without being seen and also took another student hostage. And as I was says, yes. He also punched Omai in the chest, cracking his ribs. He didn't, and the guy didn't even flinch when he got punched. He just got yanked, like punched through a wall, Nezu, and he just didn't feel anything. He just came out of that wall unscathed. Just, Omai just dislodged his jaw a bit, but it turned into some type of robotic jaw. And when Bakugo blasted his arm, it was somehow robotic. Oh yeah, and I just also gotta say, the girls didn't notice that Deku's arm was robotic because as soon as he teleported there, he covered it with shadows there to make sure it was human again. Okay. And they're just like, I see, I see. So, do we know any weaknesses? Aizawa says, well, one of the classmates says, well, we did find one of his weaknesses, a weakness in his creations. One of the weaknesses is, well, we don't know what it looks like, but the students drew this. And what is, and Liz looks at the pictures like, and what is this one's weakness? Light. It's, if you flash it in the eyes, it screeches. But after that, we don't know. I think it just stalls. It only flashes with the red eyes. When you see red eyes, you can flash it in its eye. When you see its eyes glowing, you flash it. And it will shriek, and it will buy you like a little bit of time. And this is like, so, okay, good. So, any other theories? And All Might's like saying, yeah, whoever that kid is, he packed quite a punch. And Deku and Baku said, yeah. And Nurse said, yeah, but we could use our quirks. As soon as that guy, and the student said, they said they were in his domain and in a void area that looked like exactly like the school, but no one was there. And all of a sudden, I was walking down the hallway and I saw the door open. I was like, that's strange. And then all of a sudden, I saw that guy. And now I'm renaming Deku to Nightmare. So, yeah. I think Nightmare's a good idea. Anyway. Well, we're listing him as Nightmare. Nightmare. As Nezu says, Nightmare? Huh. That's a pretty good villain name. Shame. He had been such a great hero. As Aizawa says, yeah. I wish we could have found out what happened to him, then he may have turned himself in. Deku's like, foolish. Foolish teachers. If only they knew, all they could do is just let someone die. It's Bakugo Katsuki. Deku's not even there. He just sent like ignited like Chico like just hearing all this. Deku hears it through her ears, and Deku's like, oh my, and Juno and Nezu, no, Juno and Momo are like saying like, well, do you have a shower in here? Deku's like, oh yes, I do. It's upstairs. And Deku's like, okay. Seeing more of your creations? Deku says, oh yes. There are... well, there are 4 that I currently have that are strong. Not, well, just at the second strongest. You know what? Whatever. Why should I tell you? Besides, they're not actually the second strongest. All of them are strong. Huh. I have about like 6, and I make 8. But I don't know the number of animatronics I can make. However, I could just make 100 to 1,000,000. Besides, I'm already working on some new creations of mine. Anyway, those calls of yours, even if you're in this, I should probably tell you to something. I already told Momo, but you should know. You do know, you can't die here. You can sleep if you want here, but you can't and sleep. You can also never age. You can also never die. Joe's like, how is that possible? Deku says, it's my void. I make the rules. So, yeah. Anyway, if you go upstairs, take a right and take a left, there should be showers there. Juno, like, grabs on the Momo. They both walk up the stairs, and Deku said, the phones don't work in here either. Only I can make them work. And Deku decided, why not just call Aizawa and just see how he's doing? Deku makes a phone, calls Aizawa, and Aizawa's like, ring ring, ring ring, and Aizawa's like, hello? Aizawa sensei. And Aizawa's like, shh. Everyone, Aizawa mutes the mic. And Aizawa says, shh, everyone, it's him. Nezu, shh, can you track this call? Nezu says, I can try. And Nezu begins tracking the call. But as soon as he tried to, it says, location unknown. And my phone's still on mute. And Nezu says, I can't track him. And Aizawa says, what? I can't track him. Okay, so like, okay, I'll try to tell us to give us hints where they are. So yeah, instead, and Aizawa unmutes the phone. It's like, hello, like, hello, Nightmare. Deku's like, oh, so that's what you guys are calling me, huh? Kind of knew my name was already Nightmare. Like my name was Creation, but I like Nightmare better. Thanks for the villain name. Aizawa says, where are my students? Oh, even if you're trying to track me, which Nezu's still trying to do, you can't actually physically find me in the realm here. Aizawa says, what do you mean? Oh, ask one of your classmates. You can't track someone that is dead. Aizawa says, what do you mean by that? Ask Bakugo. He knows. And he should know all about me. Ooh. I'll give you a little hint, Aizawa. Who's Bakugo's best friend? Aizawa says, what do you mean? Deku hangs up the call, like, Aizawa says, shit. And Aizawa tries to get the phone number again, but the phone number, Aizawa looks at his phone, he sees like a black eye there, and the number vanished. Aizawa was like, damn it. I couldn't get the call. I couldn't get the phone number. And Nezu says, whoever this person is, he is a genius. He could far pass me. I bet he's even surpassed me. But enough of that. The question is, what does he mean, Bakugo's best friend? And also, what do you mean you can't kill someone that's already dead? All Might's like, it's probably just him being a fool of himself. Deku walks. Deku decides to like take a stroll. Deku's like laughing at us like, stupid heroes. They can't even figure it out. It'll take them like a few days to figure this out. And that's when Deku encounters Eri. Deku looks at Eri's like, "Where are you running from, little girl?" Eri's like, "No one." And Overhaul's like right there, and Overhaul's like said like, "Hey, that's my daughter. Could you give her to me?" Eri's like shivering like. Deku is kind of reminded of how she was, so Deku decides like, "Sorry, but I'm afraid you have to step back." And Overhaul says like, "Kid, do you have any idea who you're messing with?" Deku says, "Do you?" And Overhaul says, "No." Deku like slowly says to Eri like, "Hey Eri, you can tell me if this guy is like harming you in any way. If he is, I'll gladly help you." Izuku's like smiling. He reveals his face to Eri only. He's like, she like nods, and Overhaul's like say like, "Well, Eri, you just caused someone else to die." Deku grabs Overhaul. He throws him to the wall. As soon as Deku did, Deku put on the mask when he threw Overhaul, and Deku said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt?" Overhaul's like saying, "Yes, it did." And Deku says, "Well," Deku goes back, picks up Eri, and Deku says, "Sorry, Overhaul, but I'm taking her. Peace." No, and as soon as Deku does that, Deku gives him a middle finger. He's like, "Fuck you." And Overhaul's like, "Give her back." Deku vanishes into the shadows, and Overhaul's like saying, "What the hell kind of quirk is that?" And Deku says, "Huh, that was easier than I thought." Eri like still like holding on to Deku's like, "Shh, it's okay, it's okay." Eri, can you look at me? Eri looks at Deku. Eri says, "Can you take off the mask?" Deku says, "Sure." Deku takes off the mask, revealing Deku's eye is like mostly red, but mostly whitish. Deku says, "Here, Eri." Eri says, "I can't control my quirk really well." Deku says, "Eri, I should tell you something, Eri, that I'm not a good person, but I will try to make your life the best I can." He says, "Okay." And Deku says, "Here, sit on the couch, and I'll make you something to eat. And also, here's some change of clothes." He's like, "Okay." Harry's being changing. Deku, like, being, like, the nice person he is, he's not looking. Does she change? She's like, "I'm changed." Deku says, "Oh, good." Deku's, like, cooking right now. He's cooking, like, some fries, and he's cooking some, like, he's cooking a steak and some fries. And Deku puts the plate down for Aries, like, "Here you go, Aries." Aries like, Deku says, "Do you not know what a steak is?" Aries says, "What's a steak?" And Deku says, "Oh my gosh, you gotta try this." Deku, like, sits on the couch. He grabs Aries, puts Aries in the middle. Deku cuts pieces of steak, and he just says, "Open wide." Aries opens her mouth, and as she bites the steak, she says, "This is steak?" Deku says, "Yeah, it's a steak." And he's like, "Whoa!" And as now we go to Juno and Momo. Juno says, "We have to get out of here somehow." Juno said, Momo Rose says, "Well, Juno, there's no way out. Juno's like, there has to be a way. Juno said, Juno's as Momo says, well, I did get out. Juno says, what, you did? But none of you could see, but it was different. When I left, he said, you didn't ask for permission to leave. Juno's like, permission? What do you mean permission? When I when I went with him to the outside world, I was in the outside world, but I noticed there was a chain around my arm, and there's a chain around his. And he said, you didn't come outside without my permission, so no one can see you. Only I can see you and hear you. No one else can. And I was up there for 5 minutes. I was floating, and I told him, and he used a Horaka's quirk, and Junior says, what? Excuse me? How? I thought real ones were quirks, but said, Momo said, hey, don't disrupt me. Joe's like, sorry. And Juno said, Aizozu said, well, it was like, I don't know how to explain this. He said that, oh, I just made it. I didn't really get that. Juno says, you made it, but by examining her? Momo says, yeah. And they're both in the shower talking about this. As Deku, as like two of the girls get like, they have like towers on, and they see one of Deku's creations. They're like, and it was it was Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy, they clothes like floating into the air, and the Freddy said, "Here's her clothes," and teleported away. And they're both like really like confused, and they both said that we never seen that one before. And June says, "Yeah, that must be one of his new creations." And Deku's like, "My new creations? I had that one the whole time." Deku's on his head, but he didn't. He just said that for an instant, but he just went straight away to Eerie. As both of them get the clothes on, they both walk downstairs, and they just see Deku without the hood, wearing regular clothes, and the green hair, the white hair and black hair with it mixed into it. They look at the person, they hear like a child, and when they go to the couch, they see Eri and Deku feeding her steak and some fries, and Juno and Momo is always like saying like, "Where'd you get that girl?" Deku said. They both said, and they're like, Deku said, "Why isn't it any of your business?" Deku said, and both of them said, "Well, did you take this person from the family?" And that's when Eri's like, she's like scared, like Deku's like, she's like crying. Deku hugs her, and calls, like, says, "Shh, it's okay, it's okay. You're not with him anymore. You're safe here." Both Juno and Aizozu like saying like, "What do we do?" Deku gets up and reveals his face to them. His face has a scar on his like left eye. The eye is red, and the other eye is also red, but in the center is a bit green. So like saying like, "Is that what your face looks like?" Deku says, "Yes, it is." Excuse me. Well, I was gonna say excuse me, but there's some food on the table for you. And Juno says, "Well, you said we can't eat here, so what's the point?" Deku says, "Well, do you want a steak? You want steak and fries or no?" And also there are also onion rings in there. So Wolfen said, "Onion rings? Yeah, I used to cook. I don't want to talk about it. Deku goes upstairs and yes, the creations do have their free time, so they can become human. But Deku says, if you guys want to become human, you want. I already made you guys houses in the void, so and Nightmare's house is like filled with people, which creation and Deku make creation have the ability to create whatever they want in the void, but they can't like kill Deku in the void. If he dies, then they die. So yeah, they all have houses, and they just love like killing people in the void, in the imagination realm. And yeah, Deku goes upstairs, puts Eri to bed. She says, "Shh." Deku like makes a Fredbear teddy bear and gives it to her. It's like mm. She just goes to sleep. Deku sings a song. It's okay. Sometimes you see, I'm just gonna be here for you, even if I die. You know, it's just the way we have to go. Just hush and have a beautiful sleep. You are just amazing. And Eri falls asleep, and Deku's like, "Wow, that worked." But anyway, Deku like gets up. Deku turns off the light, and Deku told Golden Freddy to watch her and not to scare her. And Deku made him like not ignited, but a bit more repaired. But his whole like skin's still ignited, so yeah. Deku gets downstairs, and Juno and Eri, Juno and Airosu like heard this, and they're like, he must be really a nice guy, but why would he kill our friends? They both still don't have trust issues, but they're really considering why would he do all this. Deku gets back down the stairs, but he doesn't bother putting on his hoodie. He just says, "Well, they know what I look like in here, and they're never leaving." So yeah, Deku gets on there, back down there, and Juno and Airosu like saying like, "How do you make this so good?" Deku says, "Huh. So when did YouTube become interesting by cooking? Last time I checked, you two still hate me." Momo and Airosu was like saying like, "Yeah, but we just want to know a recipe. We're not friends or anything." Deku says, "Yeah, you can say that all you want. It doesn't really bother me." Momo and Airosu was like saying like, "What do you mean it doesn't bother you? It should bother you." And Deku's like, "No, it really doesn't bother me at all." And both like saying like, "What do you mean?" Deku tells Deku said, could you just sit down in those chairs and I'll tell you why I'm a villain?" Both of them agreed. Juno sit in the comforter, and and Juno sit in the like right beside where Deku is, but like two spaces apart. Juno did the same thing. Deku said that I became a villain when I died. Both of them were like shocked by this. Like, what do you mean by when you died? Deku said, "You see, I was so so I was quirkless." Both of them like, "But how are you doing these abilities?" But if you're and Juno said, well, Aizozu said that, and Juno said, "But if you were quirkless, then how do you have these abilities? Even if you're dead." Deku says, "Well, that's the thing. My creations saved me, and for the next few months, for the next like month, 1 month and 4 days, it took a month for them to. It took 4 days until I was alive. It took 4 days, which in this void was actually 4 years. You know what? I'm changing around. It was a year. A year equals 1 year equals 4 years. I don't know what makes sense of it anymore. I'm tired. Okay, because training and Hero Academia stuff. Yeah, there you go. Deku Deku said that he was so tired of being bullied that he jumped off the building. Bakugo told him take it. Maybe in my next life I could have a quirk that's useful. Took his advice, committed suicide, killed his mother, and yeah, that's about the story. Jiraiya's like, that is so sad. Deku's like, I know. But I don't really care, to be honest. No, excuse me. I'd like to sleep. Your room's upstairs to the right. Aries is to the left. But where are you sleeping then? Both of them are like nervously asking. I'm just gonna watch Aries for a bit, and then I'm going to sleep. Momo and Jonah's like, fine, but you better not do anything to her. Deku's like, I would never. They see Deku, like, his eyes are like turning a bit like bluish grayish. So they both went upstairs, and they still see Springtrap on the in the doorway. And Deku says, Springtrap. Springtrap walks over. Deku says, "Yes, boss." You think this is still a good cause? Springtrap says, "I still do. You're the boss." Deku says, "Whatever. Costs one day should pay, cause Aizawa, I do see those heroes becoming great heroes, but not without sacrifice. And in this void, they can never find me. They, if they actually wish to find me, Springtrap, what rank would they go to sacrifice? They grab 2 students." Springtrap says, "Well, like moving your own body, of course." Jackie says, "Yeah, I know. My body's just a bunch of bones, but it's still in this house. Well, we destroyed my body's bones, so I make them into a powder. Because those are the only things that could have actually made sure they could enter my domain. If they had a tooth, oh well, that would just last a few minutes in here, but after that the tooth would start breaking, decaying, because it won't last in a void." Juno kind of heard all that. Juno's like, "So, people can get in here, but he destroyed the evidence so that no people could get in here. But if we had some sort of tooth, but it's just probably already gone. So there's no point." Momo said, "Come on, it's not any of our business." Juno's like, "How is it not any of our business? Getting out of here?" Okay. Or being free, huh? Momo says, "Well, he's Juno. I was like you. I wanted to get out of there. I tried using my quirk, but when he was there, I couldn't use it. But when he was left, I kept using my quirk over and over again, seeing if I could find a way out. I used guns, like ladders, like dynamite, everything you can name it. But unfortunately, I could not get out." Jones like, "So there's no escape then?" Jones says, as our Momo says, "Yes, there isn't." "So what do we do? We just wait and see." Mo says, I've actually never seen him play with a kid before like that. And did you notice his eyes become a bit more bluish and grayish? Juno says, yeah. It's almost like he was sad. Juno says, well, it's good. Well, Deku does have a clock on there, and Deku also said, oh yeah, girls, I should probably also mention that the clocks here are actually the real time in the real world. And I'm like saying, like, really? Yeah, I might as well just sync something up. Like, okay. And girls, I don't even think he'd make even a transmission for that time. I have no clue. Anyway, I'm just getting up because Deku's going up the stairs. I'm talking to him that he's just going to sleep, and they're also going to sleep. They're both saying like, "Night, villain." Deku says, "Night, good night," not saying anything back. Yeah, he's like mostly awake, like, Miss, um, I never got your name. Eri said. Deku said, my name's Deku. Deku? Deku says, no, it's not my name anymore, but it's Nightmare. If you want to call me Deku or Nightmare, I wouldn't mind. Deku said, Eri said, Nightmare. Deku's like, you silly kid. Deku walks over to Eri, getting on her sheets with her. Deku's like, Eri's like, I want more steak. Deku says, it's too late for that. How about first thing when you wake up, I'll make you pancakes. Does that sound good, Eri? He says, yes! Eri's like, and Deku's like, huh. She really is an innocent child. Besides, I always hear wounds are healing, so Clark must be rewind. Guess this is good night. Momo was like earjacking the wall. She's like, huh. He does have a kind heart, but not a good one. Deku pulls her earjack out of the wall, and she gets right next to Momo. She's like, eyes out. Well, they're both beds are separate. And Momo said, eyes out. Momo Airosu said, night, Juno. Juno's like, yeah, night. Juno's like sleeping, and Deku gets up first, like, what time is it? It's 3. Huh. It's 12 p.m.? No, wait. Yeah, it's 12 p.m. God damn, I slept in a while. God damn, I slept in a while. Anyway, let's see what today is. He's like starting to wake up. And also, Deku can make the void sunny and dayish, but I'm gonna say it's always dark in there because rules. Deku gets up, starts making pancakes. He says, I really don't want to make pancakes for those damn girls, but whatever. Deku finishes making the pancakes. Deku puts the pancakes on the table. And he also makes makes some bacon as well. Puts it in the middle for the girls. Now we go to Bakugo and the class 1A, saying that what is Nightmare doing to them? Aizawa says, well, kids, We know one of the guy we know one of his creations nightmares, and Mina says yes, it is light, and I says yes. So first thing you see when you see him, grab onto him so we know where he is. Or put a tracker on him. That should be more precise. Sorry about the guy's bundles. And Baku's like, and then we take him down to the prison and make sure he is sentenced to death. Moraya Ozawa? Correct, but we don't do that. We let the judge decide. And Baku's like, okay, I just want some revenge for my mother. Mina says, don't worry, it's fine. And the class is adjourned for that day, because then Aizawa just said talk about test scores and everything. Ida comes like walking to class, like saying, "Class, what A? We should not be able to do that." And Dick is like, "Huh? God damn, they're noisy." Mina was suspicious of the coroner, so she shined a bit of light in there, but she could kind of see a figure, like some sort of chicken. Aizawa said, "What is that?" It's like the light is like not catching it very well, but it's like so thick that Mina can barely see it. And Mina said, "Huh," because she was the only one that noticed in the class. She's like, and Deku said, "This one's kind of smart." I don't think I'm growing a bit too soft. I'm only growing soft because of the Airy, but I just feel sad for her. I don't even mind if I take care of her. Springtrap says, "Boss," and Deku's like, "Oh, don't scare me like that." Springtrap's like, "Sheesh. Sorry, boss. I didn't think you get that scared." He says, "Of course I would, but here, have some bacon." Dick says, "Oh, thank you." Dick says, "This is pretty good bacon." Dick says, "Well, you know what? Stay right there." Dick like makes another batch of bacon. He's like, "This is your bacon." Dick says, "Mine." Just puts away. And before Springtrap teleported away, Deku said, switch posts with Chica. I think that Mina person's catching on were my tricks." Springtrap's like saying, "All right." Okay. And yeah, as Eri wakes up, she smells something good in here. She's like, da 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 da. She goes down the stairs. She's like saying like, pancakes. Dick is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on, let me get you up there. He's like, pancakes. And Dick is like, here's your pancakes. And like, Dick's like, yay. Oh, so good. And Dick's like, huh. Dick already washed the dishes from last night, so yeah. Aizawa smelled the pancake. She woke up. She gets down the steps wearing pajamas. She says, What are you doing with her? Deku says, "Eat. Are you gonna eat some pancakes or no?" Irosa says, "Might as well." My Momo expects the pancake. She's like saying, "This isn't poison, is it?" Degu's like, "Why would I poison a perfectly good batch of pancakes?" Momo says, "Because you're a villain." And Miri says, "He's not a villain. He's a good person." Momo says, "Yeah, right." So she goes in for it. She bites back. She says, "Mmm," in her head, and she's like, "This is nothing." Deku says, "Let's try it with syrup then, huh?" Deku, because this is Deku's secret recipe of syrup. He puts it on. She's like, "Oh God, how's it gonna taste?" And she puts it in her mouth. She's like, "Mmm," and Deku's like, "Ha, I thought so." And Deku's like, "Oh, I was like, "No, I don't like it." Like, or do you? I was like, I don't. And Juno wakes up. She smells the pancakes. She's going down. She's like, she like looks at Aizo's like, God damn it. Whatever. She sits down, eats the pancakes. Like, She also loves it, and all of them go for the bacon. Like, say, this bacon's so delicious. Deku says, "Well, is that all your dishes?" Me and Dina said, "We're all done." Aries says, Aries says, "Come on, you two, say we're all done. Say thank you." All of them like looking at the girl, like saying like, "Please," and like they're pulled from the side, like, "Thank you for the meal, for breakfast." And Deku says, "You're welcome." And Aries like, Deku, um, thank you for the teddy bear." Deku says, "Huh. You know what? Can I have that teddy bear?" Deku says, okay." Deku holds the teddy bear. He breathes onto it. Its eyes begin to glow, and it begins walking around. And he says like he waves like hello, and Aries like, "You're the best ever. You're the best dad ever." Is like Deku's like dad. His head is like dad. Aries like, "Yeah, dad. Can I not call you that?" Deku's like, "You know what? Yes, you can call me dad if you want." Momo, I was just like saying like, okay, he just let that slide like it was nothing. June was like, oh my God, is a murderer actually adopting a child? And Deki says, listen, you two already know where I'm going, but even if you tell her, Deku like makes the face of like a scary face when Aries like not like turning around. When she turned around to like saying like Deku's like said, like, if you ever tell her, you should know. You should know what happens. Both of them like, okay. But Momo Eyes Rose is like, okay. Juno's like, how are you used to this? Momo says, I've been in the void for 4 years, so nothing's like that scary anymore. Deku like puts on the like shadows begin to make the hoodie and cover up his face. He's like saying like, oh, let's go see what Class 1A is up to. Spring Chop's like, yeah, they're definitely up to something. Spring Chop says, what are they up to something? Well, their Mina has got more brighter light. I think most Class 1A is catching on. Huh. And Deku's like, oh, they are, eh? Well, one of them is. They are pretty smart. And of course, Mirko is there for no reason, teaching the class. And when when class 1A left, Mina and Mirko began talking, like saying like, "Hey, I've been doing something with my flashlight, but if you look at the shadow right there," Mirko says, "Yeah, what about the wall? Are you into walls or something?" Mina says, "No, it's just I have a theory about how does he hear everything that we hear, and all of a sudden, oh my fucking god." Okay, I think I might have to end the video there, because I said this is the villain part. But anyway, and Deku said, "You guys are getting too suspicious, eh?" So, you know what? Mirko and Mina began talking. Charge bolts in the class. Hmm. Who should I kill off today? Hmm. I'm like thinking right now, but anyway. You know what? Charge bolt's going off. I don't care. Get him off her. Deku's like, huh, this should be an easy target. As the door closes, Charge bolt's like, oh, can I get out? Can I get out? As Charge bolt turns around, grabs him by the throat, and Deku says, "You know, you shouldn't be here alone." Deku makes an imaginary knife, stabs it in his brain, going all the way to the chalkboard. As Deku pulls it out, Charge bolt's like there. Deku just also writes, "Never walk alone." And Deku disappears. The next day, Aizawa comes in class and he notices like he's like saying, "What's that smell?" He opens the door and he sees one of his students' dead bodies sitting in a chair. And Aizawa says school is closed. But now even more, the students are getting even more worried about who's next. And yeah, Deku decides to go on a little, I don't know, killing spree. Because, you know, Deku did kill little girl. Oh, Springtrap did kill little girls, but he kills some, like, young women. He kills some women. He kills some, like, a lot of people. He kills some men, and he just, and there's, like, just, like, all, like, different notes, like, "We're watching you. Fear us." And he's, like, saying, in other news, the notorious nightmare, this nightmare person has been killing more and more people lately. Lately, there have been 30 people been killed. And Dick is like, "Oh, I wasn't actually killing them. I let my creations do it." Well, creation killed mostly 25 people. Springtrap, Spring Bonnie killed, and Springtrap killed the other, I don't know, 15. Yes, and Deku's like, those like his creations could do the killing. Because they enjoy killing, Deku doesn't mind. And Deku does love killing too. Deku sees this young person. He grabs them by the throat and begins like breaking their neck. And you just hear like, I guess he may houses this. Oh shit. And this is why I'm going to be ending off the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to y'all later.